Let's talk about a secret that the truly wealthy know, but the people who are faking it are terrified of. We live in a world that is obsessed with the aesthetic of success. We're told that if you've made it, you need to show it. You need the designer logo on your chest, the $800 car payment in your driveway, and the latest iPhone in your hand the second it drops. We've been conditioned to believe that looking successful is the same thing as actually being successful. But here's the cold, hard truth. For most people in the middle class, looking rich is exactly what's keeping them poor. Today, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you need to start looking poor, or at least looking unremarkable. We're going to talk about why staying under the radar is the ultimate power move in an economy that is designed to bleed you dry. Reason number 1, you become invisible to the consumption tax. There is a hidden tax in society that nobody talks about. When you look like you have money, the world starts charging you more. I'm not just talking about prices, I'm talking about expectations. When you walk into a dealership or talk to a contractor and you're draped in luxury, the price goes up. People assume you can afford the premium, so they stop offering you the deal. When you look unremarkable, you get the real price. You get the regular person rate. By looking poor, you keep your expenses at the baseline while your income grows in the dark. Reason number 2, it kills the status game before it kills your bank account. The status game is a race with no finish line. If you buy a BMW to impress your neighbors, and then your neighbor buys a Porsche, you feel like you've lost, so you upgrade again. It's a treadmill. When you consciously choose to look poor, you're basically opting out of the race. You're saying, I don't care where you think I stand. Once you stop caring about status, you realize that 90% of what people spend money on is just social signaling. When you stop signaling, you start accumulating.
Reason number 3, your relationships become authentic. This is a big one. When you look rich, you attract fans and vultures. You attract people who want something from you, or people who only value you because of what you represent. But when you look average, when you drive that 10-year-old Toyota and wear plain t-shirts, the people who stay by your side are there for you. Looking poor is the ultimate filter for your social life. It keeps the fake people away and keeps the real ones close. You'll know exactly who has your back when you don't have a lifestyle to offer them.
Reason number 4, you avoid the target on your back. In 2026, being visibly wealthy is a liability. We're living in a time of high inequality and, frankly, a lot of resentment. When you flash your wealth, you make yourself a target for lawsuits, for scammers, and even for friends and family members who feel entitled to your hard-earned cash. Looking poor is a form of security. It's tactical camouflage. If people don't know you have it, they can't try to take it from you. Wealth should be felt in your bank account, not seen on your wrist.
Reason number 5, it protects your focus capital. Every time you buy something expensive, you create a new worry. If you buy a $5,000 watch, you're constantly worried about scratching it or getting it stolen. If you buy a luxury car, you're stressed about where you park it. You've traded your peace of mind for an object. When you live a low-key life, your mental bandwidth is free. You aren't managing your possessions, you're managing your goals. Looking poor gives you the freedom to focus on building your next project instead of babysitting your last purchase. Reason number 6, you gain the power of no. It's very hard to say, I can't afford that when you're wearing a $1,000 outfit. You feel pressured to say yes to expensive dinners, luxury trips, and over-the-top gifts because you have an image to maintain. But when you look like you're just getting by, no becomes your default. You gain the power to turn down things that don't align with your financial goals without anyone batting an eye. Looking poor gives you an out from the peer pressure of the consumerist cult. Reason number 7, it forces you to find value in yourself, not your stuff. Many people use luxury goods as a crutch for a lack of personality or confidence. If they feel insecure, they put on a designer brand to feel important. But when you strip all that away, when you're just a person in a plain hoodie, you're forced to develop real confidence. You have to be interesting, you have to be kind, and you have to be competent. Looking poor strips away the mask and forces you to become a high-value person from the inside out. Reason number 8,
you build FU money much faster. The math is simple. The difference between what you earn and what you spend is your speed of freedom. Most people increase their spending as soon as they get a raise. This is lifestyle creep. If you make $150K but live like you make $50K, you are building wealth at a terrifying speed. In 3 years, you'll have more freedom than the guy making $300K who spends $290K. Looking poor is the fastest shortcut to never having to work for a boss you hate ever again.
Reason number 9, it teaches your children the right lessons. If you have kids and you're constantly flaunting wealth, they grow up thinking that money is a toy. They grow up with a sense of entitlement that can ruin their drive. But if you live modestly, despite having a high net worth, you teach them the value of a dollar. You teach them that money is a tool for freedom, not a scorecard for ego. You're giving them a chance to build their own hunger, rather than feeding them off a silver platter until they're soft.
Reason number 10, you get to enjoy the silent win. There is a very specific, incredible feeling that comes with being the wealthiest person in the room while everyone assumes you're the poorest. It's a quiet confidence. You don't need the validation. You don't need the applause. You know your house is paid off, your investments are compounding, and your future is secure. While everyone else is performing for an audience of strangers, you're living a life of true, unshakable freedom.
The goal isn't to be poor. The goal is to be rich, but live in a way that the world doesn't notice. In an era where everyone is trying to fake it until they make it, the smartest move you can make is to make it and keep pretending you're still figuring it out. Stop buying things you don't need, with money you don't have, to impress people you don't like. Put on that plain t-shirt, drive that old car, and watch your bank account explode. If you're ready to stop playing the status game, drop a comment below. Tell me one luxury you're giving up this year to buy back your freedom. I want to see who's actually serious about this. Thanks for watching. Stay low, stay wealthy. I'll see you in the next one.